Every Minecrafter knows that Protection 4 is the strongest armor enchantment in vanilla Minecraft, and longtime players may know that in the right version, you can put this and all the other protection enchantments together to create God Armor, which is the strongest armor in the game's history. Until today. What if I told you that I discovered a simple way to get Protection 5 armor in survival, allowing for the creation of a God Armor set so powerful that it will change the future of Minecraft forever, all with no cheats, file edits, or mods? Prepare yourselves, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to create the new strongest armor in Minecraft history. A while back, players discovered something interesting. If you brought any enchanted book with a level 5 enchantment into a specific snapshot, the book would be converted into a Protection 5 book. That was exciting until you tried putting it on armor. Anvils don't see the book as valid and won't add it to armor, so the book was useless and Protection 5 armor was still impossible. But it turned out we were only half right. Though the book is indeed useless, it is possible to get Protection 5 armor. How, you may ask? Simple. Snapshot 12W49A, where enchanted books were first introduced. Because of some mix-up in development, this snapshot allows you to add any enchantment to any item, and that's where we'll go to start making this armor. First, create or open a world in Snapshot 12W49A. Enchant a full set of diamond armor using books like Sharpness 5, Power 5, Efficiency 5, etc. Anything with a level 5 will work. Once you're done, save and quit. Next, open that same world in Snapshot 18W21A. In this version, rename each armor piece in an anvil. This step is critical. It updates the item's internal data format so the next step works. While here, get an elytra and enchant it with Unbreaking 3. Make sure to rename it in the anvil as well. Notice here that I failed to rename the Feather Falling armor. Once you're done with everything, place the renamed armor in a chest, then save and quit. Finally, open your world in Snapshot 18W22B. If you followed my instructions exactly, your items that we renamed will have their enchantments replaced with protection. Notice that the Feather Falling armor remains unchanged. Now, we have full Protection 5 armor and a Protection 3 elytra. We could stop right here and you would already have the strongest armor in the game's history. But we can do better. Now that we have this, we need to combine it with fire protection, blast protection, and projectile protection on top of it, and we'll reach the theoretical limit of protection in Minecraft. In my experience, the easiest way to do this is to use Snapshot 24W11A, where a bug allows us to use a grindstone to combine normally incompatible enchantments. It's also possible in 1.14, but it's much more labor intensive, so I'll be demonstrating the 24W11A method. So open up that snapshot and get a full set of armor for each protection enchantment, then open up the grindstone. If you put a piece of armor in the top slot and an enchanted piece of armor in the bottom slot, you'll see that the lower armor piece's enchantment has been added to the top one. We've essentially just copied and pasted the enchantment for 0 XP. So go ahead and start pasting your enchantments. Be careful to not accidentally use the grindstone to remove the enchantments from your armor, because that may result in you having to start over. Go through this process for each set of armor, and once you're done, you've officially created a full set of Protection 5 God Armor. Or, as I like to call it, True God Armor. Maybe we can call the old one Demigod Armor or something, I don't know. After this, though, feel free to add your other enchantments to your armor and elytra, like Mending, Unbreaking, and the other more specialized enchantments, and then your netherite upgrade. We've proven that this armor is possible, but how does it perform compared to its dethroned counterpart? Well, I brought it into 1.21.5 and tested it against some of the most infamous Minecraft killers, the Creeper and the Piglin Brute. I was going to include fall damage, but it turned out that each armor set and configuration already maxed out fall damage resistance, so there wasn't really a point. But long story short, 103 blocks is the max height without God Apples or Turtle Master Potions that you can fall from and survive. Here we go. Alright, I'm not going to drag this out. The results mostly speak for themselves. To start with the obvious, Protection 5 is flat out better than Protection 4. It outperforms it in every way. You probably noticed in the montage that when testing full armor, Protection 5 performed exactly the same against both the Creeper and the Piglin as Prot 5 God Armor did. That's because Protection 5 is so absurdly strong, it maxes out the damage reduction across the board all by itself. After extensive testing, I can say with confidence that a full set of Prot 5 armor makes every other protection enchantment, and even Feather Falling, completely unnecessary. It's completely broken. Now, based on that, you might be thinking, why bother with God Armor at all anymore? And honestly, you'd be right. Until you try flying. The second you swap your chestplate for an elytra, you lose 25% of your damage reduction across the board, and you lose the armor points from the chestplate you gave up. When we tested this setup with a surprise creeper explosion in the montage, we survived, but just with 3 hearts left. Not exactly ideal for hardcore players. Swapping to a Protection 3 elytra helped a little, but it couldn't replace the raw armor points from the chestplate, and we still dropped to half health. But when we used a set of Prot 5 God Armor with the Prot 3 elytra, we only lost 3 hearts to the creeper. That's much more comfortable for those who don't like death. This basically fixes our explosion, fire, and projectile problem while wearing the elytra, but generic damage is another story. Even after putting on a Protection 3 elytra and the pieces of the Prot 5 God Armor set, we go from surviving 25 hits from a Piglin Brute to 8. Usually, armor eats a lot of this damage, and then our full Prot would take the rest. But with our reduced armor strength and Prot levels, we take more than 3 times as much damage from these guys. On the bright side, all you have to do is right-click and you're back to full defense. Either way though, if we really want the best chance for survival, simple Prot 5 armor is not the way to go. So yes, even though full Prot 5 armor is insanely good and as strong as it gets, Prot 5 God armor beats it in utility. Plus, let's be honest, it just looks and feels cooler with all those stacked enchantments. Though Prot 5 True God Armor already shatters every limit previously placed on Minecraft armor, there are 2 potential ways it could be outdone. 1. Between versions 1.9 and 1.16, Skeleton Horseman had a 1 in 100 million chance of dropping a glitched diamond helmet that had Protection 3 on it twice, essentially acting as a Protection 6 helmet. Unfortunately, even if one was able to obtain this helmet, modern versions will clean the helmet's data, and only one of the Protection 3 enchantments will remain. It's possible that someone may end up finding a workaround, and so that's why I'm including it here, but until then it's not possible. 2. In an April Fool's snapshot, it was possible to obtain multi-shot 12 books. If these books could be brought back to 12W49A successfully, they could be used like one of the level 5 enchantments we used earlier and possibly create Protection 12 armor. Because of how difficult and challenging version regression is, it may not even be possible to bring them back that far, and on top of this, I'm not really sure if most people would consider a method that requires the use of an April Fool's snapshot to be a vanilla method, and it may not qualify even if it did work. Final verdict, Prot 5 armor alone is the most powerful defense that can be obtained in vanilla survival. But Prot 5 True God armor gives you almost the same unbeatable protection, even while wearing an elytra. Once you get this into modern versions and slap on a netherite material silence armor trim, you now have the most powerful armor set in Minecraft history, as well as the rarest cosmetics. I just want to stress this again, assuming Mojang doesn't completely rewrite the way that they handle and organize armor and its enchantments, this is the strongest possible armor that can ever be obtained in survival Minecraft. I'll be obtaining this armor and doing even more wacky and never before seen stuff in my new hardcore series. So, if you liked what you saw and want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Hit me up with any questions you have in the comments and I'll do my best to help you out. I'd also love to see pictures of the maxed out armor sets you guys are going to make, so if you tag me on Twitter with the photo, I'll make sure to give it a like or a comment. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have a good day.